Are you dealing with unexplained weight gain, extreme fatigue, sugar cravings, or irregular periods? You might have insulin resistance, but how do you know for sure? The good news is that there are specific lab tests that can help you find out. I'll walk you through the most important medical tests to get if you suspect insulin resistance, what the results mean, and how to talk to your doctor about them. Let's dive in. First up, we have the fasting insulin test. This test measures how much insulin is circulating in your blood after fasting for at least 8 hours. When you have insulin resistance, your cells become less responsive to insulin, and your pancreas has to pump out more and more insulin to compensate. So, if your fasting insulin levels are higher than normal, it could be a sign that your body is struggling to use insulin effectively. Your doctor will interpret your fasting insulin results based on your individual health history and other factors. Next, we have the fasting blood glucose test, or FBG for short. This test measures your blood sugar levels after you've fasted for at least 8 hours, typically overnight. Ideally, your fasting blood sugar should be in a healthy range. If it's consistently high, it could indicate insulin resistance or even prediabetes. Remember, with insulin resistance, your cells aren't using insulin efficiently, which can lead to a buildup of glucose in your bloodstream. Your doctor will consider your overall health picture to determine if further testing or intervention is necessary. Now, let's talk about the hemoglobin A1C test, also known as the HbA1c. This test gives you a broader picture of your blood sugar control over the past 2 to 3 months. It measures the percentage of hemoglobin, a protein in your red blood cells that has glucose attached to it. Since red blood cells have a lifespan of about 3 months, the A1C test reflects your average blood sugar levels over that period. A higher A1C means your blood sugar has been running higher than ideal. If your A1C is elevated, it suggests that your body may not be using insulin effectively. Chapter 4. HOMA-IR, Calculating Your Insulin Resistance. Now, this next one is interesting. It's called the HOMA-IR, which stands for Homeostatic Model Assessment of Insulin Resistance. It's essentially a calculation that uses both your fasting insulin and fasting glucose levels to estimate your degree of insulin resistance. The HOMA-IR gives your doctor a more precise measure of insulin resistance compared to looking at fasting insulin or glucose alone. Your doctor will interpret your results within the context of your individual health profile. Chapter 5. Beyond blood sugar triglyceride-to-HDL ratio. Insulin resistance doesn't just affect your blood sugar. It can also impact your cholesterol levels. This test looks at the balance between your triglycerides, which are a type of fat found in your blood, and your HDL cholesterol, often referred to as good cholesterol. High triglycerides and low HDL cholesterol are often linked to insulin resistance and an increased risk of heart disease. If your doctor finds that your triglyceride-to-HDL ratio is off, they may recommend lifestyle changes or medication to help improve your cholesterol profile and reduce your risk of heart problems. Chapter 6. C-peptide test. How well is your pancreas working? Finally, let's talk about the C-peptide test. This test measures the level of C-peptide in your blood. C-peptide is a substance released into the bloodstream by the pancreas alongside insulin. Measuring C-peptide can help determine how much insulin your body is producing. The C-peptide test helps doctors understand if your pancreas is producing enough insulin, which can be helpful in tailoring your treatment plan. Outrow taking charge of your insulin sensitivity. So what happens if your test results indicate insulin resistance? First, don't panic. Insulin resistance is reversible with the right lifestyle changes. Focus on blood sugar-friendly meals. Balance protein, fiber, and healthy fats to avoid insulin spikes. Limit refined carbs and sugar-processed foods worsen insulin resistance. Exercise regularly. Strength training and daily walks help lower insulin. Scientific fact studies show that reducing refined carbs and increasing physical activity can lower insulin resistance by up to 50% in just 6 months. European Journal of Endocrinology, 2023. Get checked for insulin resistance as soon as possible to take control of your health.